Hey everyone, today I'm making a Spartan helmet. For this build, I used EVA foam, craft foam, paint, sanding tools, safety gear, scissors, razor pens, and a box cutter. First, I traced one of my round dome templates onto a sheet of foam. Okay, so this specifically is not the same one that I used for all the Stormtrooper variants, because that one's too elongated. I had to make a whole new pattern for this, and the finished pattern will be linked in the video description down below. So this is a request that keeps coming up every few years, and I thought I'd give it a go, seeing as how there's a new take on the Odyssey coming out. I don't think those were Spartans, I think they were Ithacans and Trojans, but the design is basically the same. It's all Greek to me. I'll see myself out. As I trace, I'm making sure to get all the registration marks so that I can line up the pieces later. And I'm labeling them front, back, left, and right, just to prevent further confusion. The EVA foam will dull out your blade, so you'll have to continually sharpen it with a knife sharpener. I switched to scissors for some of the simpler cuts, and then finished them off with a work knife. I also made side pieces, and then I sanded the rough edges on my belt sander. Then I heat formed them. I did that by heating them up with this heat blaster to even it out a bit. Not a hairdryer. Your hairdryer can't do this. In fact, it'll burn the foam if you hold it over the same spot long enough, which is why I do most of the heating up on the pattern side, which is going to end up on the inside when the helmet's done. Then I manipulated the foam manually until it was curved slightly, and then so that it would retain its curve, I set it inside a bowl while it cooled. After a few minutes, it was good to go, and I could move along to the other pieces. It's pretty much the same process for each piece, except sometimes the longer ones, you can scrunch them up in a donut like this to heat form them. Yeah, sometimes that works better. Kind of a toss-up, though. Once all the pieces were heat formed, I glued them together with contact cement. The fumes from this stuff aren't great to breathe, so I'm doing this in an open garage on a windy day. You can't just apply the glue to the foam and then immediately stick it together. There's a 12 to 14 minute wait time. Contact cement is a bit temperamental, and it's something that has to be done in stages. But for the longevity of a prop that's probably going to bend over time, suffer some kind of stress, it's really the best glue. When the glue had become tacky, I attached the pieces. Then I applied the glue to the center seam, and when the glue had dried, I attached the two halves to form a dome. That'll take a day for the glue to fully dry and stop emitting fumes, so in the meantime, got to work on the other parts. I'm gonna start with the iconic faceplate. Again, I figured it out on cardboard, then I traced it onto foam, cut it out, and once it was freed from its foamy prison, I got to work on the face details. There are a few rough spots, especially at the curve, so I had to clean those up a bit on the belt sander as well. For the face holes, I had to switch to a narrower bit in order to fit in there. Next, I heated it up and stuck it in a tube to cool. When it cools down, it'll hold on to the curve. By now the dome is aired out, so I brought it in and heated it up again. This is to smooth out any of the lumpy portions. Then I attached the faceplate with hot glue and weighted it down as it cooled. I would have loved for the strap to be able to go all the way around, but a 2-foot floor tile isn't quite enough for that. Maybe diagonally. So I had to fill in a gap in the back, and I did so using a small length cut from scrap foam. Once that was glued on, I moved on to the back brim. Again, it's cardboard traced onto foam. I based this on a medieval helmet that I made a while back, which was strikingly similar. Cut it out. I put a slight bevel on the inside so that the brim will sit at an angle, a very slight angle, against the dome, but the edge has to be significantly slanted. This is where the constant knife sharpening that I'm always talking about really comes into play, because this much surface area of foam is really going to dull out the blade. Even so, that's a extremely ugly cut, so I sanded it relentlessly on my belt sander. Then I heat formed it and gave it a slight curve. After that, I attached it to the helmet. I used super glue this time because it's so much faster, although not quite as forgiving. So, I could be gluing these on even faster, but I'm going a little bit slower just so I don't make a mistake. Now for the headpiece holder. It's just a slightly tapered curve, so I cut out 2 of those, flipping them so the pattern would stay on the inside. Then I used scrap foam to make the walls. Only 3 though, because the top has to stay open for the mane, or is that just for lions? What's the mohawk thing that horses have? I am a history buff, but I'm not into the minutia of the classics. It's just not my bag, baby. I heat formed the bottom one so that it would stay curved. I closed it up and added a spacer on the bottom so that it would sit slightly higher on top of the helmet. Then I glued it on top. I did a quick fly around because the next portion is going to be super messy. This is the best it's going to look for a while. After that, I filled in the seams with flexible putty using DAP Alex Fast Dry Putty because it dries fast. Does what it says on the tube. I had to do this in several stages to completely erase the seams. I'm smoothing it out a little bit with water as I go. When the seams were hidden, I set it aside to dry. While I wait, I made the plumage. Why? Explain why this was a thing that happened in history. Like the armor makes sense. Crazy feathers on top of our hat. I don't get it. This makes less sense to me than the World War I spiky helmets. Remember, gentlemen, do not fire till you see the reds of their head brooms. How do you sneak up on anybody? I just don't get it. Although, I bet no Spartan houses have dusty ceilings. I do actually have a broom with red bristles, and I could have used that, but it lives in the garage, and I don't want to deal with motor oil-infused dandruff. How did you contract black lung? Costume party. So instead, I used 2mm craft foam. I cut out 4 swoops, kinda looks like a flame. Then, I roughly traced the bristles onto each one. I slid this stencil a little bit forward and a little bit backward on each one so that they wouldn't exactly be identical. You don't want to see all the way through all of them from the side. Then I cut them out. When they were done, I glued them together. In order to create some separation, I put some foam spacers in between them. Did a quick test fitting, but I didn't glue it in just yet because that would make painting so much more difficult. Oh, also real quick, I reheated and flared out the cheek plates at the pointed ends. I'm not going to say that's historically accurate, but it looks a little better to me. I mean, I don't think the movie ones are historically accurate either because they have a much wider opening in the faceplate region, but it's a movie. If you're paying for Matt Damon, you want to be able to tell that it's Matt Damon. So, you know, less face armor. Tom Hardy, however, you can put him whatever you want. I swear he's got some body dysmorphia because every movie he's wearing a different mask. No one must know it's me. Okay, whatever, Bane. Then I painted it with gloss black acrylic house paint. If you're doing Battle of Troy, I think those ones were black, so that's why I started with that. But I'm gonna need multiple layers because the first one always gets absorbed into the foam like a sponge, then a top coat of something more realistic. You have to really unload your brush before applying the paint, otherwise it'll run and harden, creating a permanent drip line. That happened to me on the Cylon build, and I was too lazy to sand. I'll build a 7-foot-tall robot, but sanding's where I draw the line. Oh, real quick, before that though, if you're doing movie Agamemnon, ancient names. If you're doing movie Agamemnon, Unique New York, I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch. If you're doing movie Agamemnon, and you want to do the golden spine, then just grab a Halloween decoration and spray paint it gold. And to sell the notion that it's metal, I use gold leaf rub and buff to create a look kind of like weathered bronze. I made sure not to make the coverage totally even, to suggest that he caught a few glancing blows here and there. And that's it. And that's how to make a Spartan helmet. Now go kick a guy down a pit. Is that reference too dated? Now get in a big wooden horse. Somehow I think that reference is more dated. Now fall prey to the siren song. Yeah, that's perpetually relevant. Something Scylla and Charybdis. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, I'd like to thank my patrons. These videos just wouldn't be possible without the support of my patrons. So if you enjoy these builds, want to see more of them, and want your build request to carry a bit more weight, then think about heading on over to the Patreon page, where you can enjoy ad-free early uploads. Anything you can pledge goes towards improving the video quality and shop equipment, as well as allowing me to put together bigger and more exciting projects for you on the channel. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of the future uploads, because it's kind of at a totally random schedule. And let me know what other props you'd like to see me make in comments down below. Thanks again, happy crafting, see you later.